Start you off with a real easy one. Notice all your teammates seem to call you Julio. Obviously, we refer to you as Julian usually. Do you prefer Julio, and what's the genesis of that name?
So Julio came from back in high school whenever I played receiver. My favorite receiver, Julio Jones, and then it just stuck with me ever since. And now everybody here call me Julio. I don't get called my real name no more. So yeah.
Yeah, Kirby said there was a lot of reps available for you in practice last year with Kamari not practicing every day. Just how much did those reps help you last year as you earned more and more playing time throughout the season?
So as me playing a lot last year, getting those reps helped a lot. Cause just in case anything was to happen, I'm ready. Cause the practices are harder than the game. So if I can get my reps in at practice, when the game comes, it should really easy, and it shouldn't be as hard as practice was. So and it really helped me develop going with the ones every other day alongside with Dalen Everett. So they helped me a lot. So yeah.
Julian, you flirted with the transfer portal back in December, January. What led to your decision to ultimately stay at Georgia and work it out here?
So for the transfer portal, so I'm from Houston, Texas, so that's 12 hours away when you drive. And after games, I used to see all my other teammates who from Georgia, them with their people and all that. It kind of got to me a little bit. So that's why I went to portal, because I want to play close to my people. But then I talked to Kirby and Muschamp and Coach Dante, and then they were saying this can be a big year for me. This could be my year come out to have a good year. So I thought about it, and it was just, I wanted to be developed than just be down there just for 1 year and just say that I'm close to my family. But I just stuck it out here because the development part is one of a kind compared to all other schools. So yeah.
You mentioned Coach Williams there. Just what have your impressions been of him a couple weeks into spring practice?
So Coach Williams, I've been knowing him since sophomore year of high school, since COVID first started. Me and him have a tight relationship. He has us doing these ball drills every day in practice, and it's been helping me, better my ball skills, from last year. So yeah, I like him a lot. Me and him a lot. So yeah, I like him a lot.
Press the point. How much thought did you actually put into it before you? I forget whether you put it on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. And then how had you talked to the coaches before that? And then how quickly did you hear from them after you kind of sent it out there on social media?
Right. So me going back home, we had I think we had a week off after bowl game, and it just kind of hit me because I'm back at home and I barely get to see my people a lot, and it was just okay, now is the time for me to go in if I want to make that decision to be close to my family, or just stay up here and keep doing what I was been doing. But as soon as I went to portal, the coach was of course the coach was calling me and texting me, and we spoke and everything, and we sat down and we talked about the bigger picture besides just me going back to be closer to home whenever I can be up here and get the best training that I need to be able to make it to the next level. So
yeah, Julio, over here. There's a bunch of you guys in the defensive back room that have a background in track, extremely fast track times as well. You were a 10.5 guy, Kyron Jones a 10.3 guy. If I made a 4x1 team out of the defensive back team at the University of Georgia, who would run the anchor leg?
I'll say most definitely me. I don't know why they had that 10.5 up there. I actually ran a 10.2 and a 20.6 in the 200, so I don't know why they. But I think I'll be the anchor leg. It'll be a runner-up between me and Daniel Harris. So
Who would be the fourth?
Fourth leg, I'll say I'll give it to myself. Second leg would be Daniel Harris. The fourth and second are the fastest people on 4x1. So yeah.
When we got a chance to see you guys out of practice earlier this year, Dante Williams, your position coach, had a helmet on. Did he give you an explanation for that? And then what are some of the differences between he and Fran Brown?
So Fran Brown was a coach who he wanted the best out of us at all times, and Fran, both of them are great coaches, But think about Dante would like put cleats on and put a helmet on, like do the drills with us, and like he sent us like videos of like different drills we're gonna do. Like sometimes he'll like have some gloves on and everything, and he'll get out there and like do all the drills and show us like how it's done, and like I think like that's kind of like helping us like as a whole. So like see him do it like right there, and then like us like mimic the same thing that he wants us to do. So yeah, I think it helps a lot. So yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead, sorry.
What have you seen from Kobe Young so far? With 6 practices, has he done anything that you didn't necessarily expect, or what's he looking like out there?
I've seen Kobe Young, before he even got here, and his little like film he had over at Miami, and like he's like a good jump ball guy. So like he's been like going on top of people. Like he's a big guy, so like he's really gonna be like a big important like a big piece of us for this fall coming up. So yeah, he's a real good guy.
It was interesting hearing you talk about the DB speed. I'm sure at some point Aaron Smith would probably talk to you about a race. If you could, I don't know if you want to comment on that, but I wanted to follow up on what you were talking about on the decision to stay here, because we talked to Mike a little earlier, and Amarius Mims talked to us about short-term, long-term. Is there that big of a difference between the value you can get coming out of Georgia, the DB, with NFL money than maybe some of the quick money that's they're throwing around out there in NIL-wise?
Right. So like that was one of the things that I said whenever I was leaving the transfer portal. I was like like why leave like the best school that like can like give you like everything you need to be ready for next level, and just to leave just cause like a few bucks from like another school could offer you that. So I was just like it's just like important futures, like just like stay here and like get the development, because this is like Georgia gets you ready for like the NFL, and it's like it's been proven. So like I want to be a part of that. So.
And then as far as Arian, you guys ever talk about racing, or
Arian,
trash talk out there?
We talked about racing, but Aaron's like a 10 flat guy. Like I seen him run track his freshman year against Matthew Bowen. So yeah, man, Aaron's a different type of fast dude. So yeah.
Yeah, Kirby mentioned that the Missouri game last year, he kind of thought it was a breakout game for you. Just what do you think clicked for you that week, and then in that game, and then how frustrating was it to then have that injury against Ole Miss? I think it was the next week.
So the week leading up to the Mizzou game, we had this new formation going in, and like I knew I was gonna play that game. So like that whole week I was like locked in, like getting ready to play this week. And then like whenever they like called it, like I went in, I was like like I said, like the practices are like harder than the games. So like I knew like I was doing good at, like in practice, so I knew like when a game would come, it wouldn't be like no huge difference. So like I just went out there and just did what I did, and trusted my technique, and which is good. But then the following week after that Ole Miss game, I knew I was gonna like be a like big piece of the team to go into that game. But after that play that happened, I was just like, I was hoping that it wasn't a major, but then I went in and got an X-ray, and then it was like it came back different. So I was like, it was a bummer, but I'm back and healthy now, so I'm ready.
Yeah, you touched on Dalen a little bit. Obviously, you guys came in together. I'm sure you spent a lot of time together, but then also, getting to play across from him and work together. How have you just enjoyed being through this process with him, and how excited are you to possibly have an opportunity to really get a ton of opportunities to start alongside him, like you did in that Mizzou game?
Right. So Dalen Everett's a good guy. Me and him came in together. So like just to see that me and him, we like me and him really like stuck it out, and like didn't leave, and like still here and kept grinding and kept our heads down. I'm excited because like me and him always talk about like we here now, so like like we can really be a big difference to the team. So like I like Dalen Everett a lot, and I think like me and him are gonna like do great things this season. Yes, sir.
To follow up on the injury, just what was the process like, getting back from that, and how tough was that being sidelined in the rest of the season?
So when that happened, I was like, God dang, like I was trying to like figure out like as soon as possible when can I get back, because like I knew like we was going to go to the SEC championship, so I was like, dang, like I want to play that game real bad, because I know like that's a good game, that's a big game, that's like a who goes, who doesn't. So like I was like really aiming for that point, but then whenever I was on rehab almost every other day on the weekends, just trying to get back as soon as possible. Then whenever I got word back that I would like probably like wouldn't be able to, like it wouldn't probably be smart for me to play that game. It was like a bummer, but like I sure did want to be out there with my teammates. So, yeah.
You talk about Dalen and you got Jonell Aguero back there. There's a lot of guys on this team that aren't local. And you were talking about, being around your people and the feeling after games. Who have you leaned on, as a teammate through all of that to kind of, maybe identify with and maybe they're your people after game? Who's kind of, been your go-to as far as that goes?
I'll say Dalen Everett, Ja'Cory Thomas, and Daniel Harris. Like we're all DBs, so like after the game, I'll just cause sometimes their people wouldn't like show up either, but they're from like far away, so like I'll just like go with them, like we'll just be talking, so like I think like that really like built our relationship this year. So yeah, I mean.
Got time for one more question?
Yes, sir.
How is Ellis Robinson kind of adjusting, from high school? I know he played at a high-level program, but, it's a transition period for a lot of the guys.
He's still young. He's doing good in practice and everything, and I'm doing everything I can, to like lead him in the right way and keep on pushing every day. So, yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Julio.
Thanks, Ellis.
Appreciate y'all.